On Sunday, the Cowboys were destroyed at home and couldn't even manage to score a touchdown? But why? The Detroit Lions beat the Cowboys 47-9, and the Cowboys couldn't muster up a single touchdown at home. And to make things worse, on Jerry Jones' birthday. It was bad enough that Dallas's defense let 47 points, 35 being from touchdowns and 12 points being from field goals. But you're telling me the highest paid QB in NFL history, Dak Prescott, and the second highest paid wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, couldn't generate a single touchdown? I genuinely like the Detroit Lions defense, but it's not like their passing defense is the best in the league by any means. Before Sunday's game against the Cowboys, they were ranked 27th of the 32 teams in the NFL, allowing an average of 258.3 passing yards per game. Their rushing defense is where they excel, where before Sunday's game, they were ranked 4th in rushing defense with an average of 90.8 yards allowed per game. Now, no one was expecting the Cowboys to win this game with their rushing abilities, because the Cowboys are currently last in average rushing yards per game with 77.2 yards. Their lead rusher, Rico Dowdle, is 30th in total rushing yards in the NFL this season and 29th in average rushing yards per game. And Ezekiel Elliott is 69th overall in total rushing yards this season and is 54th overall in average rushing yards per game. How the mighty have fallen. In 2016, Ezekiel finished his season with 1,631 rushing yards, and he is currently on pace to finish the season with 326 rushing yards. And yes, I know he is 29 years old and past his prime, but some of the best running backs in the league are 29, like James Conner, who is currently 8th in rushing yards this season with 403 yards. Or even Alvin Kamara, who is 29 and is 7th overall in rushing yards with 428 yards this season. Or the king of rushing yards, Derrick Henry, who is 30 years old and 1st in the league with 704 rushing yards this season. But clearly, Derrick Henry is just a different beast. But the question we have all been asking is, where do they place in passing yards? It should be high with the highest paid QB in NFL history and second highest paid wide receiver today, and it is. They are currently 3rd overall in average passing yards per game with 259 yards, and 3rd in total passing yards this season with 1,556. But that's the least you would expect from a team that has the second highest passing attempts in the league and the second highest completions. So what gives? They should be on fire when it comes to passing then, right? Well, not exactly. The Cowboys only have a completion percentage of 63.4%. And you might ask why this is. Unfortunately, because they have the lowest average rushing yards a game, the Cowboys have to solely rely on their passing abilities. And this is where they become exposed. Teams can abuse this and put more effort into defending the pass because they are less worried about the possibility of a run. And even if there is a run, they can defend it easier than they might with another team. This would also attribute to the fact that Dak Prescott is tied for the second most interceptions in the league this season, as the opposing defense could focus more on good receiver coverage than a breakout run. It's just a pure shame seeing the highest paid QB in NFL history has a current passer rating ranking of 25th in the league. But what are your thoughts? Do you think Dak Prescott and this team are overrated? Let us know in the comments below.